落ちた競合飛べないカラス
What up, it's Blackpink here, and in today's video we're gonna have a look at when to commit to the board and when not to commit. Basically, if you get max seed, should you go for it or should you just stay, you know, keep calm, set a card and pass. But yeah, let's jump into the first replay. So, we won the coin toss and we are going first. Here, when I look at my hand, obviously Small World into Sudbury is pretty nice. My opponent has the maxi, but luckily for me, I have the Gamma. And now the Gamma goes through, which is kind of important later on in the video. But yeah. Yeah, so maxi, and I'm just gonna banish the Garbage Lord, Chinook, and give myself a Sudbury. Now here, obviously, I could have gone straight for Vata, and then I could nicely play through Droll Lockbird, but I did not do that because obviously, like, yeah, who plays Droll Lockbird in the main deck anyways? But yeah, he actually had Droll Lockbird, and yeah, I'm playing it myself as well, so, you know, kind of maybe punished there. But yeah, now obviously the next thing is that, okay, I obviously want to commit here, but it's super awkward because I cannot make Boreas Storm from Gamma and Sudbury, and it just doesn't feel like I have any nice or good play to make. So I have to basically play Sudbury's effect here and just banish it for the token. And here I'm actually just going a little bit forward and yep, going for Boreas Storm here, playing effect, sending Shagna to the graveyard. It's actually better in this situation than Zephyros, because if I would go for Zephyros here, it would not be that great. And then these two cards are gonna make me Black Winch Dragon. I can play the Black Feather Whirlwind, and now I can special summon the Shagna back. If I would not have been able to send a level 2 monster here to the graveyard, I could not do this, because obviously that's kind of the issue with the Zephyros line. If I would have sent Zephyros with Boreas Storm, is that I would have been left on basically a Boreas Storm that is level 4 and the Zephyros, and they make Black Winch Dragon, then I'll play Black Feather Whirlwind, but it cannot special summon like anything smart back that would make me be able to Synchro Climb. So that's why, yeah, I'm just gonna go this route instead. So basically now I have Full Armor Master, I have Black Winch Assault Dragon, and I have Shagna in the graveyard, and I have that little bit of protection that Black Feather Whirlwind gives me. And also have Max C, and why this Max C is super important is that I'm like 99% sure my opponent does not have Ash in his hand, because otherwise he would have probably used the Ash on the Gamma, making his Max C resolve. So yeah. Okay, now I know I play against Yubel, so now I just play the Shagna, pop on the Nightmare Throne. My opponent plays Max C, I don't know why. Maybe he doesn't know what Blackman cards do. Alright, my opponent plays Triple Tactic Talents, and this is kind of a situation where I just wanted to like shotgun my Maxi, because like, yeah, I know that if he is able to kind of break through my board, I will still get a couple of draws and it will be super nice and so on, but he decides to draw 2 cards. Yep, and this also tells me a little bit maybe that his card that he has in his hand is not a monster, because otherwise he could have just taken Black Winch Dragon, attack over Full Armor Master and summon the monster he has, attack directly with that and end up on SP Little Knight. Obviously it would have gotten me like 1 drop, but yeah. That's the first replay, and yeah, this is basically making that, you know, synchro board is also super, you know, fine. You don't have to go into Kali Yuga or some crazy, you know, boards. If like, especially if your opponent has played a couple of hand traps and they play with like 3 or 4 hand traps, yeah, this is like sometimes just enough. But yeah, let's go into the next replay. Alright, so the next replay, we won the coin toss again, and looking at my hand, it looks super nice, you know. I can just, you know, play to through Maxi because I have Ash Blossoms. I can summon Vata. If Vata gets negated, you know, with anything, I can special summon Harmadan, play its effect, go for Boreas Storm, and still go for Kali Yuga. So let's see how this turns out. Special summoning Vata, my opponent plays Dimensional Shifter and Maxi. Well. Yeah, so basically going through any other things here, I feel like would just, yeah, I would just auto-lose. So I just decided to set the 2 Infinity Permanences and have the Ash Blossoms. Obviously I could have Ashed the Max C, but what do I gain? I can special summon my Harmadan, go for SP Little Knight, or nothing. Boreas Storm can't send anything to the graveyard, no, it won't be that good. So I just decided to go with this, and just hope that, okay, if my Vata can somehow live to the next turn, you know, maybe I will be able to survive. Because obviously I know I'm against like a shifter deck, and for example, if this would be Floowandereeze, I have double Infinite Impermanences and Ash Blossoms, so maybe he's not even able to attack over Vata, you know, who knows. So yeah, this is kind of what I left on, and obviously if I draw into Sudri, Small World, Simoon, or any other like kind of card that gets my engine starting, it doesn't even matter if my Vata would die. So then my opponent's turn, he draws the turn, he plays the Extravaganza, and this kind of signals to me that okay, maybe he's playing Floowandereeze actually. But yeah, I just decided to Ash that because obviously I do not want him to go like +1. So now I have the Infinite Impermanences set, and now I'm shaking my head like, okay, I'm playing against Kashtira, what? He summons the Scarecrow and tries to attack here. I'll play the Infinite Impermanence on it, and yeah, this way, because it's in defense and it loses its ability to attack in defense mode, you know, yeah, that's kind of fun, I guess. He summons the Maxi and goes for SP Little Knight. And here you can probably already know that on my turn I can just play Infinite Impermanence on the SP Little Knight when he tries to play the effect, and then just basically Kali Yuga do like 9000 damage on my opponent. So yeah. So this was, you could say, almost like a little bit lucky, but then again, if I'm thinking about the decks that actually play Shifter, you know, maybe it was calculated, I don't know. But yeah, here we're just gonna go for that Black Winged Dragon, playing Sonda's effect, and opponent concedes. Alright, next replay, and this is already a lot longer replay, and it's gonna be more interesting maybe for some of you guys. So here we see we have an insane opening hand, you know, we have double Black Whirlwind, we have Simoon, and we have the Small World, you know, we have everything basically. But one thing that we do not have is Ash Blossoms or a way to negate Max C when it's dropped. So what do we do? Well, first off, the Maxi is gonna resolve obviously, and we're gonna get a couple of draws here. But Maxi draws when a monster is special summoned. And here, obviously, we can search with the Small World, draw Lockbird to our hand. And this way, basically the first time we special summon, we can just let our opponent draw, and because he drew a card, we can draw Lockbird, and then we can just go all in, and our opponent cannot draw any other cards for the turn. Or, yeah, neither can we, so obviously that's why we want to kind of get the searches early on, now, before we special summon anything. One thing with this is also that, if you do this, obviously now we play the drawn Lockbird here, if you do it this way, you cannot end up on the Kali Yuga, so you're again more going for that synchro board, because if you play the Kali Yuga, you actually kind of need to search both of the rank up cards. You can actually do it with one rank up card as well, but it's really hard. But yeah. So here we're just gonna go for a basic synchro board. And here also, I'm not sure if my opponent has still like additional hand traps, Nibiru's, whatever. So I'll try to play as much as possible underneath Nibiru. So that's, for example, why I did the Borestron first. Here basically my idea is to get, again, Flower Master, and to get like Borreload, Savage Dragon, and obviously I need to get the White Strix somehow to the graveyard for that. So here I'm just gonna make SP Little Knight, getting the White Strix to the graveyard for then to create the Borreload, Savage Dragon. And then, yeah, the Tipperos is kind of just left chilling there, but you know, I have Chinook in hand, Shargan Graveyard, Borreload Savage Dragon, SP Little Knight, I have the Black Winged Assault Dragon, which can blow up the field, I have Black Feather Whirlwind, which can help my Black Wings not basically die in battle, making Full Armor Master pretty untouchable. I have like so much stuff on the board that is pretty hard, pretty impossible to break with just like normal engine, which is nice, obviously. Then here my opponent makes Typhoon, tries to attack over something, and then I just pop it with Chargna, and yeah, my opponent concedes. So, let's jump into the next replay. Alright, so the last replay for today. So, in this, we're gonna actually play into Maxi. And what? Why? Yeah. here my opponent plays the Maxi. Obviously I have the Gamma, but this is really important. And this is actually what made me play into Maxi. So my opponent plays Ash Blossoms here. So if we analyze this a little bit, like I do not know what my opponent is playing obviously, but obviously like if he would draw Shifter, like that's gonna be dead. If he draws into like all his Ashes, all his Maxis, they're gonna be dead, they're not gonna do anything. And if I can get into Kali Yuga, yeah, it's most likely that I still win. So essentially the only cards that he can draw at this point with Maxi is Infinite Impermanence or Effect Veilers or Gammas if he plays them. Like Gamma is not that popular, and same with Effect Veiler, so Infinite Impermanence is literally the only card that he could play or draw into that, you know, would be bad for me. So that's why I thought to myself that okay, this is the perfect example to just play into Maxi, because also I'm getting so much stuff that like even if I could not get into Kali Yuga, you know, maybe I would be still able to win. So, getting a lot of searches here. And here also, this is like double-edged sword. So, you can go to Special Summon Vata and just try to do the whole Kali Yuga line. And when you get into the Ultimate Falcon and you play its effect, then you know it's safe to play whatever you play. That way you do like less special summoning, so that's kind of nice. Also, if he would, for example, have somewhere now an Infinite Impermanence in the beginning of the combo, I would still be able to go with Sadri into like really good fields. So I would say this is one part. So if my Brave Sticks now resolves, that's really great. But here is like would be one good place to play the Infinite Impermanence if my opponent would have it. So here we get my rank up Magic Launch. Going for Arsenal Falcon. Playing effect, going for Zephyros. Going for Vistrix here. And now we get access to the second rank up Magic Launch. And now we're playing Ultimate Falcon's effect, meaning that this is the last time our opponent can play any cards this turn. And now, because he didn't play anything, I know that okay, we're good to go for anything else. If he would have had Nibiru at this point and he would have dropped it, it wouldn't have mattered, we could have still ended up punking Kali Yuga. So yeah. Then just searching for some good stuff. Gonna go here for the Darkness Metal Dragon of Dark Steel. Borreload Savage Dragon. I really wanted to make this Borreload Savage Dragon just because if he would have something that could destroy the rank up card in the standby phase, for example, yeah, I don't want that happening over here because then everything in this combo would be pretty, yeah, not so useful. Yeah. I'm just going here into Borastorm. There's really nothing too good to send with Borastorm, but it's also, yeah, like you can always send Simoon. And obviously getting the Shamal playing its effect to get a little bit of a follow-up to next turn. Yep. Black Winch Dragon here, and then playing Darkness Metal's effect. So, as you can see, you know, one card Blackwing combo, we started with 5 cards, and now we have basically 4 cards, so yeah, looking pretty good. Obviously our opponent has like 20 cards in their hand, which is not that great, but, you know, it's another story if their card doesn't do anything. So here obviously my opponent tried to special summon one Runic monster from the extra deck, and I was just like, sure, I'm just gonna King Kali Yuga here. And I was a little bit thinking that, okay, how many of these Runic spells does he have? But, you know, I still had the Burrow Savage Dragon if he would have tried to destroy something on the standby phase. So yeah. Here he just special summons a bunch of monsters. Going for that IP Masquerena. Sets a couple of cards, tries playing the Fountain. Trying to play like everything on his hand until he notices that it doesn't help to play negated cards. Everything is just negated. Going for a Sprite Elf here. And the end phase, and I just play King Caligula's effect, basically destroying spells and traps, and my opponent decides to concede. So, what to take out of this video, basically? I would say that there's a good line, or fine line, when to basically play into Max C, if there's like a shifter, if opponent plays a lot of cards to basically go neg, then you know, maybe they're like, maybe they don't have the starter, or maybe they just have one play, and if you have a little bit of, you know, Infinite Impermanences, Ashes, or whatever in your hand, just like take the time to actually analyze your own hand and look at, do you actually need to go to this board, or like commit to it, you know, special summon a lot into that Max C. Then again, the opposite, you know, if your opponent plays that Max C, and they have maybe played already their Ash earlier, or something, you know, Small World or whatever, and you have that Simoon plus Blackwing Name and Black Whirlwind, you know, you can definitely reach King Kaliuga or Unbreakable boards. And then I think it's fine to go for those. Obviously it's a little bit more risky because you do not know at that time always what you are playing against, but then again, you know, a lot of the times if you just pass there with like nothing, it's super risky. Yeah, you could also just kind of go for like an SP Little Knight there, but then yeah, it's not that good. So yeah, hopefully you like this video, hopefully you learned something new, and if you want to see my Blackwing deck lists for Master Duel and the TCG, you can become a Diamond or a Platinum member down below. You can become a member and basically help me and support the channel, you know, join the community. If that sounds interesting, the link is in the description down below. For Diamond members, I actually have like special videos that are only available for Diamond members, so if that sounds interesting, you can become a member from the link in the description down below. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and as always, I'm out.
それでも一人じゃなくなったあいつは強いよ。